The next editor we are going to discuss is Vim. What is so special about it is that it is the default Linux text editor, which means that it is installed there right out of the box in most Linux distributions. So it's the editor you will most likely work in Linux. One more specific thing about it is that it looks and works not really intuitively, not obviously compared to all contemporary text editors we're used to. But the fact that it is the default Linux editor makes it very important. So that is why every person learning Linux should know at least its basic usage. One line help says that Vim is VI improved editor. So VI editor is its predecessor, although Vim substituted VI almost in every distribution. I mean, even if we input VI in the command line, most likely it'll run the Vim editor, not VI. So the simplest usage is this. We type VI and the file name we want to open. And the first thing we will learn about Vim editor is exiting from it, because it's a really tricky task if you don't know it. There's even a joke that some programmers reboot the server to exit from Vim. I wouldn't also call this editor a user-friendly one. But anyway, to exit Vim, we type colon and Q, where Q stands for quit, as you might have already guessed. Okay, great. First task has been learned. But we open text files not just for exiting from them. Sometimes we want to edit them. So, we open the file again, and our attempts to write some text lead to nothing in the good scenario. So what's wrong? And here we have to learn the Vim modes. The idea is that the editor has several modes of work. Let's talk them over using this schema. On opening Vim, we enter normal mode. It's like some lobby, a starting point where we decide what we want to do. So we press I button, which stands for insert, and enter by it the insert mode. In this mode, we can edit text. To get back to normal mode, we press escape. If we want to use some commands, then we have to enter command mode by pressing colon. Now we can save changes to the file or quit from the editor or do some other command. To get back to normal mode, we press escape again. If we need a visual mode, we get there from normal mode by pressing V, which stands for visual. So this is how we switch between Vim modes, depending on what we are about to do. Okay, now when we know about Vim modes, let's check them out. By pressing I button, we enter insert mode. It's text editing itself. Then type some text, blah blah blah. To finish editing, we have to exit insert mode to the normal mode by pressing escape. And now we decide what to do next with our changes. So now we're going to save the changes we have made to the file. To do it, being in normal mode, we type colon W, where W stands for write or save. Enter, and now we see the corresponding message that our file has been saved. By the way, we could have done it in some other way, like this. While we're in normal mode, we might type colon WQ to write changes and quit from the editor. Enter, and we're back to the console. Let's say after some occasional editing, we want to discard our changes made to the file in Vim editor. By the way, it's an important feature to remember first. I mean, exit the editor without saving changes. To do so, we press colon to enter command mode and then type Q and exclamation mark, where Q stands for quit and exclamation mark means like no questions asked. So this command will exit the Vim and make no changes to the file. If we open this file again, we can make sure that there are no changes. There are specific, interesting though, commands in Vim editor. Let's discuss some of them. We can press DD to delete the line where the cursor is. And even more, if we type 5DD, this will delete 5 lines in a row. To the W is to delete two words from the current position. P is for insertion from clipboard. U is undo, though 3U is undoing the last three operations. Let's move the cursor to some other position before talking over other commands. So, we can even move our cursor in a Vim specific way. For example, to W relocates the cursor 2 words to the right. Then H moves it 10 symbols to the left. 3J moves it 3 lines below. 5K moves it 5 lines above. Of course, like every other respectable editor, Vim supports search. We use it in normal mode by pressing the slash symbol. And then we type the string we want to search. Let it be Romeo. Press enter and our cursor is blinking at the first occurrence. To move to the next search result, we have to press N symbol, and then N again to go further through search results. Moreover, Vim supports plugins. This means that it is possible to enable syntax highlighting for some programming languages. You can add Git support. It is system of so-called control version. Some people make kind of fully functional, relatively, IDE, which is an integrated development environment. I'm personally not one of those old school guys. I just know about such a possibility and prefer modern technology when I have a chance to use it. Why is Vim so important, regardless of its, let's say, not obvious interface? Because Linux runs billions of devices all over the world, starting from smart vacuum cleaners and up to Android phones. So there are many cases when you have to edit some config files without the possibility to install your beloved editor, while there always will be Vim by default.